feel like we have these stories about our family or ancient family and how they define who we are, and we latch onto those stories. And sometimes it could be a negative experience, sometimes it could be a positive experience, sometimes it could be, you know, the immigrant experience, like my parents had coming to this country, and several of us have. Maybe you could tell us a little bit about that before you were even alive. What's the story of the family?
What a lot of people may not know is that the Olympics, the 1996 Olympics, played a very catalytic role in the growth of the city, of the state, but it was also very catalytic in the growth of the Hispanic community in Georgia. My father was one of the 80,000 that were brought in to Atlanta, and we were a blue-collar family. We came in around 89. At the time, remember, Hispanics are just arriving to Atlanta. We landed in Southwest Atlanta. So this is a predominantly, if not mostly, African-American community. Most Hispanics are concentrating up north of Atlanta. And then my parents saved up a few dollars and we bought our first home in Clayton County, which at the time, right before the Olympics, was a mostly white community. So I say that to just explain a little bit, which I'll talk about a little bit later, the binary landscape, right, in the city, and how different communities feel or don't feel, you know, seen in some of that landscape. But the point is, I feel very lucky that I got to grow up in that binary landscape, because I have I went from watching Good Times with my African American friends to watching The Brady Bunch with my American, you know, Caucasian friends. I felt like I was really lucky in the sense that I got to grow up in two cultures, half and half of my childhood. But I didn't get to be a Latina until I became an adult. And remember I mentioned my parents were blue-collar workers. And so we didn't know, the message in our culture was go to college, go to college, go to college. That's probably what we all heard. The hard part was how to get to college and then how to stay in college. That's the part that's really hard. And but I was blessed to have some great folks who poured into me along the way.